Most of you are already familiar with the Valley United Way and the 25 agencies we fund. These agencies provide an array of programs and services to all of the people who live and work in the lower Naugatuck Valley. Over the years, Valley United Way and its partner agencies have to work hard to serve the people of the Valley and to improve the quality of life in the Valley. Since 1980, Telemedia of Western Connecticut has helped us tell the story of how our partner agencies have helped your friends and neighbors. This year, we are very proud to share two very special stories. The first is one from our newest partner, Area Congregations Together, also known as ACT. Admitted as a partner agency in the fall of 1994, ACT is a welcomed addition because they are meeting some very specific needs in our communities.
This boy has just had his breakfast, and he's off to school. This toddler is playing with his favorite stuffed animal with his big brother watching nearby. This woman, like many other people at this time of day, is cleaning up the kitchen so she can get on with her day. These are very typical daily scenes, except these people temporarily live at Spooner House, the homeless shelter for the Valley. The shelter, housed in the former Hotchkiss Hose Company in Derby, has the capacity for 36 guests per night, serves approximately 300 people a year, and has been in operation for more than 12 years. Director Jim Philbrick talks about what Spooner House offers.
The thing that Spooner House offers to the other residents of the Valley is that it is a place where people who have no home and who are hungry can come to get that help. There are a large number of people in that situation in the Valley, and we've not seen those numbers change over the last several years.
Case managers work with each guest during their stay, which averages 2 months. Supervisors oversee daily activities, prepare and serve meals, and ensure that shelter rules are followed and chores are completed. Mental health professionals from the Birmingham group make assessments and necessary referrals. Considering all of this, Jim Philbrick thinks Spooner House is not a typical shelter.
Some shelters have a mission of just housing people. We try to put a lot of effort into what I call case management, where we're allowing people to go out and make contacts in the community, and we try to oversee that as gently as we can to give them a sense of support back here in their home.
Deborah, along with her 2 children, lived in the shelter for 2 months. As comfortable, clean, and safe as Spooner House is, she knows that guests can feel pretty uneasy at first.
Living with a group of people, everyone was set in their own ways, different people, different attitudes, and that was something that was very hard for me to deal with.
Deborah has moved out of the shelter, is currently working toward her GED, and hopes someday to work part-time at Spooner House. She maintains strong relationships with shelter staffers and is quick to point out what they did for her.
The staff at Spooner House were very good to me, extremely good to me. And it's a habit that at least once a week I try to call, even if I'm not talking to Ann, I'm talking to the supervisor on duty. I just like to let them know that everything with me is going well and that I miss them all.
Despite the challenges of communal living, Spooner House has been successful in serving a unique community need, creating a structured yet supportive atmosphere where people who are experiencing difficult times can access community resources and at the same time feel safe, comfortable, and fed.
We take care of people in our own town. And by providing this service to the various towns in the Valley, I think that as the only homeless shelter, we're a place where people can come to get help and get back into the mainstream of society here in the Valley region.
Two very important points to make about ACT. First of all, they are responding to a clearly identified need by helping people regain their self-sufficiency by providing transitional housing. Second, they are a strong example of how non-governmental and governmental agencies work together to help people in need. Our next story also exemplifies the benefits we receive when agencies work together. Derby Daycare, a Valley United Way partner agency, and the United Methodist Homes of Connecticut, a non-United Way agency, have developed a unique intergenerational program that has benefited both the young children from Derby Day and the elderly citizens who live in the United Methodist Home facilities.
Every Friday, this group of friends get together to share some simple summer fun. Blowing bubbles, feeding fish, watching a magic show. For the 3 to 5-year-olds, it's the thrill of something new. For the 88 to 95-year-olds, it's the recollection of something great. And according to Norma Ryan of Wiki Health Center, the program supplies memories and more for the elderly.
It brings back a lot of pleasant memories, memories of their own children, of their grandchildren, and with them living in the nursing home, there's not the daily contact that they would normally have if they were having a family setting. So when we bring children here, it just brings wonderful life to us.
The intergenerational program was developed about 5 years ago by Ryan and Mary Mayhew of Derby Daycare, and there's something very special about it.
It's the core of the whole intergenerational program is to build relationships between children and the old adults, because those relationships have been taken away from them.
Elsie, who was already in her 90s before most of these children were born, is thrilled to spend time with her younger friends. They remind her of days with her own daughter, and she genuinely appreciates their visits.
I enjoy the children from my heart. I get a thrill with children. I love to touch them, to talk to them. I think they're very smart. Now I think they're smarter than when we were young.
Mary Mayhew agrees that the program is beneficial to the youngsters and the oldsters, and she believes it teaches the children a valuable lesson.
Children need love, and they need to give love. If you give a person love and they don't know how to give it back, then we've lost half the cycle. They have to learn to give it back.
Though establishing relationships that span such vast age differences may seem unlikely, friendships seem to develop regularly. Story after story illustrate how young and old cater to each other.
We had an elderly friend and a child, and the child is really 3 years old, but he was a little fella. And she says, "Here, I'll help you." And she would break off the hot dog and give him pieces of it. And he was capable of feeding himself, but she felt it was very important that she help him do that. And Ryan sat there and let her do it. It was really a great thing.
This program isn't easily organized or administered. It takes a great deal of dedication and hard work by Norma and Mary and their staffs. But the benefits for all make it worthwhile.
This program between the elderly and the children is something that is very touching to my heart and touching to, I know, Norma's heart, because we see these children and the elderly together, laughing, smiling, singing.
It's a lot of planning and it's a lot of coordination, but you forget all that when you see the actual relationships forming and taking place, and children holding our residents' hands and hugs and kisses. It's just wonderful.
You've seen just 2 examples of how your contributions to the Valley United Way are working to help your friends and neighbors in the Valley. Our 1995-1996 campaign goal is $1,050,000. It is important that we reach or exceed that goal. In the face of declining state and federal dollars, our partner agencies are trying to do more with less. It is up to you to help. You will be getting a pledge card asking you to pledge to this year's campaign. If you have given in the past, please consider an increase in your pledge. If you have not given previously, I would ask you to consider pledging a minimum of $2 per week. The dollars raised in this campaign stay right here in the Valley and work to improve the quality of life for all of us. Thanks for your support of the Valley United Way, and remember, it's working right here at home in the Valley.